Good morning everyone. Manatili po tayong nakaupo para sa ating panalangin. In the name of the Father, of the Son, the Holy Spirit. Thank you for bringing us together today. We ask for your wisdom and guidance as we conduct this private conference. Help us to work with honesty, fairness, and integrity, ensuring that all decisions made align with the best interest of the project and the community. Bless each participant with clarity of mind, patience, and respect for one another. May this process be transparent and productive. Protect us from misunderstandings and guide us toward outcomes that promote progress and service to others. We entrust this meeting to you and ask for your continued blessing in all we do. Amen. In the name of the Father, of the Son, the Holy Spirit. Good morning, everyone. I acknowledge the presence of the member of Bids and Awards Committee, Mrs. Heidelisa B. Mauricio, our chairperson.
Present.
Engineer Joel S. Estacio, our vice chairperson.
Present.
Engineer Mark Peter Recto, our regular member. Engineer Maria Janelle Sigrid Lucinario, our provisional member.
Present.
Engineer William B. Zamoranos, our provisional member.
Present.
From our DPWH, Engineer Paulo Garcia, head.
Present.
Engineer Michael Angelo D.G. Mariano, member.
Present.
Engineer John Paul Aureliano, member.
Present.
And Mr. Denver Largosa,
Present.
member. From our back secretariat, Mrs. Adelina Pito, head, member. Miss Kristen Rose de Guzman, member.
Present.
Mrs. Marjorie Kupkupin, member. Mrs. Alitea Gudoy, member. And yours truly, our head procurement. From our observer, Mrs. Luisa Santiago from COA Baya Live. Engineer Alan De Jesus from LGU Malabon. From the contractor, The Brothers International Trading Corporation, Melissa Dalimig, supervisor. EF Chua Construction Incorporated, Mon Audrey Marcelo, project engineer. Jack Trading and Construction, Mark Aresgado, project engineer.
Good morning to everyone. Good morning, Sir Alan. Today, we have private conference for the procurement of civil works to discuss the scope of works and technical specifications for the re-advertise of terminated projects to be bid on February 26, 2026 at 10 a.m. at DEO conference room. For contract ID number 25OA0097, construction of pumping station, Barangay Tanza, Navotas City. Brief description, construction of pumping station. ABC is 35,257,322 pesos and 81 centavos. Source of funds, GAA CY 2025. Contract duration, 240 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents, 25,000. And pickup license size range medium A category B. At contract ID number 25OA0098, construction of Estrella pumping station phase 1 Navotas City. Brief description, construction of pumping station. ABC is 54,013,461 pesos and 53 centavos. Source of fund GAA CY 2025. Contract duration 270 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents 50,000. Pickup license size range medium A category B. Contract ID number 25OA0099. Contract name and location. Construction of Estrella pumping station phase 2 Navotas City. Brief description, construction of pumping station. ABC is 55,895,008 pesos and 25 centavos. Source of funds GAA CY 2025. Contract duration 210 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents 50,000. Pickup license size range medium A category B. Contract ID number 25OA 100. Construction completion of bridge Barangay North Bay Boulevard South Navotas City. Brief description construction completion of bridge. ABC is 9,811,658 pesos and 85 centavos. Source of funds GAA CY 2025. Contract duration 120 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents 10,000. Pickup license range size range small B category C and D. These are the re-advertised contract. The contract ID number 25OA01101, repair and rehabilitation of classrooms, Longos Elementary School, City of Malabon. Brief description, repair and rehabilitation of classrooms. ABC is 2,392 pesos and 125 pesos and 49 centavos. Source of funds FY 2025 Basic Educational Facilities Fund Batch 1. Contract duration 90 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 5,000. Pickup license size range is small B category C and D. Contract ID number 25OA 0102. Contract name and location. Construction of school health facilities Malabon Elementary School, City of Malabon. Brief description construction of school health facilities. ABC is 1,983,577 pesos and 36 centavos. Source of funds FY 2025 Basic Educational Facilities Fund Batch 1. Contract duration 90 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 5,000 pesos and pickup license size range small B category C and D. The scope of work and technical specification of re-advertised projects for ID number 25OA0097 to 25OA00100 will be discussed by Engineer Michael Angelo Mariano.
Good morning po. All work items shall comply to the provisions of the DPWH standard specifications for public work structures applicable to all contract ID. Contract ID number 25OA0097 will entail the construction of pumping station with 1 unit of submersible axial and mixed flow pump, 1 cubic meter per second. 25OA0098, pumping station with 1 unit of submersible axial and mixed flow pump, 1 cubic meter per second. 25OA0099, construction of pumping station with 1 unit of submersible axial and mixed flow pump, 1 cubic meter per second. 25OA0100, structural works, architectural works, finishing and cladding works for the pedestrian bridge. 25OA0101, repair and rehabilitation of 8 classrooms in Longos Elementary School. 25OA0102, the conversion of 1 classroom to school health clinic in Malabon Elementary School. For pre-construction activities, shall include the coordination meetings between the representatives of the project proponent and the contractor. Joint stakeout for the project shall also be conducted and stakeout plans be prepared in accordance with the observation during the survey. Construction of facilities for the engineers, the contractor shall prepare a field office in accordance with specifications indicated with the detailed engineering plans on a suitable location that is easily accessible and within or nearby the project site. The office shall be constructed before any construction activities on the project is started. All permits shall be secured prior to the start of any construction activities and provision of the required billboards and signages be undertaken. Requirements for occupational safety and health programs shall be strictly followed. Mobilization shall begin upon securing the aforementioned requirements. For removal of structures and obstructions, the constructor shall perform the removal wholly or in part and the satisfactory disposal of all obstructions which are not designated or permitted to remain. All designated salvageable materials shall be removed without unnecessary damage in sections or in pieces which may be readily transported. Micropiles shall be constructed by drilling a borehole, placing steel reinforcement, and grouting the hole. Drilling, installation of the reinforcement, and grouting of a particular micropile shall be completed in a series of continuous process and executed as expeditiously as possible. Portland cement conforming to the requirement of the Blue Book shall be used with concrete aggregates conforming with the requirements of the ASTM C33. Concrete to be used is ready mix from batching plants. The reinforcing steel bars used shall conform to the requirements of the ASTM A615 for grade 40 and 60 deformed and plain steel bars. Consistency of the concrete shall be workable in the required position, allowing flow around reinforcing steel without isolating the coarse aggregates. Fabrication and installation of the RSB and formwork shall be accomplished based from the construction schedule, and concrete pouring permits shall be secured before the start of casting. Activities for the construction of CHB walls shall be done in parallel with the RC works. Masonry units shall be load-bearing concrete hollow blocks in compliance with ASTM C90. Electrical works. Installation of electrical conduits, wirings, boxes, junction boxes, and electrical fixtures shall be done in parallel with construction of masonry works. In no case shall electrical works be installed vertically on structural columns and at all times be monitored by the engineers. For mechanical works, provision of pumps, pipings, pipe fittings, connections, valves, controls, and electrical wirings, connections, and other accessories required for the installation shall be undertaken by a consultant specializing with its construction. Roof framing shall be fabricated in place as to not require heavy equipment to lift framing system. All welding shall be inspected and supervised by accredited inspectors to ensure that it conforms with the requirement of the plans. For finishing, the contractor, before any installation of finishing works, shall carefully examine the plans and shall investigate actual structural and finishing work condition before doing the work. Upon completion of the project, all equipment and temporary facilities shall be cleared from the site. All debris shall be removed and the whole project area be properly cleaned. Testing and commissioning shall be done prior to demobilization. That's all po. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Mariano. The project ID number 25OA 011101 and the 25OA 0102 na-mention na po ni Engineer Mariano kanina po. So let's, if there are no questions, may questions po ba kayo sa mga attendees po natin? So if you have no questions po, Engineer Pahimna will discuss the documents to be submitted by the bidders.
Again, good morning. For contract ID number 25OA0097-99, major category of works flood control, construction of pumping station. For contract ID number 25OA0100, bridge, construction, concrete superstructure without piles. For ID number 25OA0101 and 102, building repair. For the similar category of works that shall be considered in the evaluation of the work experience required for the contract to be bid, please refer to DO 164 series of 2025, updated guidelines for the determination of major and similar categories of works. For the required key personnel and minimum years work experience, 5 years and general and 3 years and relevant. For ID number 25OA0097 up to 102. Project Engineer, DPWH Accredited Engineer. Materials Engineer, DPWH Accredited Materials Engineer. Full-time Safety Officer, Certified Dolly with 40 hours CSHP Seminar. General Foreman, Skilled Foreman, and Unskilled Laborer. Skilled laborer. For the required equipment for ID number 25OA0097, truck-mounted crane, 41 to 45 metric ton, 246 horsepower, generator set, 700 kilowatt per 875 kVA, cargo truck, 10 tons, 270 HP, concrete vibrator, 2 inches head diameter, 5 amperes gasoline drive unit, and plate plate compactor, 5 horsepower, dump truck, welding machine, bar cutter, bar bender, 1 bagger mixer, and minor tools. For ID number 98, dump truck with 12 cubic yard, backhoe 0.80 cubic meter, crawler mounted, crawler crane 36 to 40 metric ton, welding machine, vibro hammer, bar cutter, bar bender, truck mounted crane, water pump, plate compactor, concrete vibrator, bar cutter, bar bender, and minor tools. For ID 99, truck mounted crane, dump truck, welding machine, and cutting outfit. For ID 100, cargo truck with a capacity of 2 to 5 metric ton, payloader to be used at disposal site, backhoe with breaker, crawler mounted, dump truck, vibratory roller, plate compactor, bar cutter, bar bender, concrete vibrator, 1 bagger mixer, welding machine, disc grinder, and minor tools. For ID number 25080101 to 102, cargo truck, dump truck, 1 bagger mixer, welding machine, disc grinder, and minor tools. For the laboratory equipment, please refer to DO number 11 series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment. Documents to be submitted by the bidders. Submission and receipt of bids is composed of technical and financial proposal, which should be and separate sealed envelopes which shall be submitted simultaneously. Contents of first envelope or technical proposal. Updated PhilJEP certificate of platinum registration and membership, registration certificate from Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC, Department of Trade and Industry for sole proprietorship or cooperative development authority for cooperatives or its equivalent documents. Mayor's permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located, or the equivalent document for executive economic zones or areas. Tax clearance as per EO 398 Series 2005 as finally reviewed and approved by the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PICAB or special PICAB license in case of joint ventures. Each partner of the joint venture shall submit the respected PhilJEP certificate of platinum registration in accordance with Section 20.2.9.1 of the IRR of RA 12009. The submission of technical and financial eligibility documents by any of the joint venture partners constitute compliance provided that the partner responsible to submit the NFCC shall likewise submit the statement of all of its ongoing contracts and audited financial statement. The prospective bidder's audited financial statement showing, among others, the prospective bidder's total and current assets and liabilities, stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. Submit a latest general information sheet reflecting the beneficial ownership information duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission for corporations and sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership. You may see in the PhilJEP's advisory number 2025-007 or in section 82.3 of RA 12009. Statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract similar to the contract to be bid except under conditions provided under the rules. Original copy of bid security with validity period at 120 calendar days from the date of submission of bids. The procuring entity may request the bidders to extend the validity of their bid securities beyond 120 calendar days prior to their expiration if the funding source for the procurement project has yet to be approved and made effective. The bidder shall submit a bid securing declaration, no percentage required, and shall be notarized or any form of bid security like cash or cashier's check, manager's check issuing, issued by a bank equivalent to 2% of ABC, bank draft guarantee or a revocable letter equivalent to 5% of ABC, surety bond callable upon the bond issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security equivalent to 5% of the ABC. In an FCC computation, use is equal to current assets minus current liabilities times 15 minus value of unfinished projects, including awarded projects and not yet started coinciding with the contract to be bid. Project requirements. Organizational chart for the procurement to be bid. List of contractors, key personnel to be assigned to the procurement project to be bid with their complete qualifications and experience data. List of contractors' major equipment units which are own, lease, and or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certifications of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor vendor for the duration of the project, as case may be, and original duly signed omnibus sworn statement in accordance with Section 54.3 of the new RA 12009. Contents of second envelope or financial proposal. Bid form in accordance with the prescribed format and shall be typewritten or written in ink and shall be signed by the bidder or its duly authorized duly representative. Bid price in the bill of quantities. Duly accomplished detailed estimate form including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used and coming up with the bid, and cash flow by quarter. Any bid submitted after the deadline for submission and receipt of bids prescribed by the procuring entity shall be declared late and shall not be accepted by the procuring entity. Bid submission may be done manually or electronically, but bidders should only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic. Financial and technical envelopes shall be book-bounded or manual submission of bids. All documents, requirement, and financial and technical envelope are duly signed by the bidder and properly tagged for easy verification. Please submit the updated PhilJEP certificate of platinum registration. All assigned project engineer of the contractor shall be accredited by the DPWH. All bidders shall submit their ISO certification 9001-2015 in compliance to DO 110 Series 2024. All bidders shall submit the general information sheet reflecting the beneficial ownership information duly received by the SEC or Securities and Exchange Commission for Corporation. In evaluation of bids, the financial component of the bids of each past bidder shall be evaluated using non-discretionary criteria, including arithmetical corrections for computational errors, and thus determine the correct total calculated bid prices. The box shall automatically disqualify any total calculated bid price which exceeds the ABC. The following factors are to be considered in the evaluation of bid: for price completeness, no price, where no price or a zero or a dash free to the GOP. All prices are deemed to include all taxes. Bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including, where applicable, BOQ shall be considered non-responsive. For arithmetical corrections, bid price and figures versus words prevail. Total price per item versus unit price per item, unit price prevails. Total price versus actual sum of prices of component items, actual prevails. And unit cost in detailed estimate versus unit cost and BOQ, BOQ prevails. During post-qualifications, the submitted documents requirement like legal requirement, technical requirement, financial requirement shall be checked and verified. If the bid is above ABC, disqualified. The contract shall be awarded to the bidder whose bid has been determined to be the lowest calculated and responsive bid as a result of the detailed evaluation and post-qualification conducted. The successful bidder shall be notified through the issuance of notice of award within the validity period and must be confirmed by the successful bidder and writing within 10 days upon receipt thereof in accordance with Section 66.5 of RA 12009.
Thank you, Engineer Pahimna.
Again, good morning. I acknowledge the presence of Miss Kenny Ann Bizarre from Legal of Congressman Oreta.
Good morning, ma'am. Are there any question po sa ating mga bidders? Question, ma'am, sir? Wala po kayong question, sir? Okay. If there are no further questions, our pre-bid conference is hereby adjourned at 9:41 a.m. Thank you to everyone.